Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve Ramona and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast. Steve Ramona.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I'm extremely thrilled to have you join us today. I dedicated this podcast to exploring the idea of doing business and living life, doing both with a servant's heart, so you approach your work and your lives to truly make a difference. And I'll tell you, my guest is going to talk about that. We just had a great conversation before the show. How good it feels to be a servant's heart and a servant leader. We're going to talk a lot about that. I want this show to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you. All three, one of the three, doesn't matter, because it's going to help you in your world to make an impact. Think about that. You get done listening to my great guest, and you can make an impact with somebody today. Again, it's Christmas every day, and that's what I love about it. While listening to this incredible show, I want you to think about how you're going to serve yourself and others today, and what impact with that service you're going to create, because it will create impact. Hey, it could be a little impact, like somebody smiles. That's huge. You don't know what their day was like or their week was like, but you help somebody smile or give them an advocate, whatever that is, it's a truly game changer. And the key word there is today. I get people still coming back to me going, I heard today and I waited a month. And that's okay. They started right away, but when you get done listening to the show, see if you can serve somebody, serve yourself, and make an impact. I'm super excited to announce my sponsor, Pantheon Alliance, where they're building a community of high-income, successful business owners and entrepreneurs from very diverse industries. They're building a community of thought leaders and experts to impact and change the world. For more information on Pantheon Alliance, reach out to me and I'll get you all the information. Impact and change. Now, we can't do it all in the big world. We're not Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, and nothing political about any of that. Let them do the big stuff. Let's work on impact and change in the world, and leadership can do that. My guest today has 30 years of experience doing this. So as I say, when somebody has many years behind them, you want to shut up and listen. Sorry to say it that way, but you're going to want to do that. Bill, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you.
Steve, thank you so much for having me as well. I'm looking forward to our conversation and hopefully to stimulate your huge listening audience and bring some value of some sort. So thank you very much, really.
No, you're very welcome. I'm going to start with value right away. Why 30 years? You've got to be passionate. Anybody that does anything 30 years, marriage, work, friendship, there's something behind it. Why are you passionate about leadership?
One of the big benefits, rewards for me is that I know though companies and leaders engage me for some form of professional development as a leader, and that might be basic people leader skills, that might be around identifying priorities, creating a larger strategic direction. Though I enjoy doing that, I know at the end of the day, I'm not only helping them professionally, but I'm usually helping them interpersonally or personally. So it's the whole person that I believe I'm making a contribution to. And I think all of us beat ourselves up way too much. And so if I can contribute to somebody's wholeness, somebody's confidence, somebody's sense of fulfillment, that's why I have passion around this. And typically that's the case.
Yeah.
So that's a big motivating force for me.
It's huge. That's incredible. I love it. And your business, what you do is unique because I could have a tech, an AI product. Great. It's going to help somebody in business, but it doesn't spill over into their personal life most of the time.
Right, right.
That's what you're saying is the effect you make. Hey, you make them a better leader at work, they become a better leader at home on their home life, right?
Well, and what's behind that is really kind of my niche in leadership development is people leader development. And that's steeped in emotional intelligence. So I'm a big proponent of EQ or emotional intelligence. And it's a very highly learnable skill. And we're human. And company employees and leaders today, they need human-centered leadership. They need the ability to both own and understand their emotions while managing them. And they have to have the ability, the affinity to wanting to know how my team is feeling, whether that's individually or collectively. And once I know how they're feeling, I empathize with that and I coach them through that. And at the end of the day, make them feel safer. If they're safe, they're going to feel both better about themselves, and from a business perspective, they are going to produce more generously.
Yeah. There's a powerful message that's unpacking here. You used the word empathy. You didn't say empathy, but empathy is powerful, and it's not used enough in business because
Right.
they're like, that's my employee. That's all they're going to be. I can't love my employees. Absolutely, you can, right?
Mhm.
With empathy.
Yeah.
What's the power of that?
Yeah. What I know today is that our folks, the people who work for us and with us, we're all dealing with a lot in our personal and home lives, as well as the pressures of leading a business or contributing to a business. And we just have to have, as leaders, we have to know that if we want people to perform well, we have to attend to how they're feeling and understand why they're feeling that way. So if they're dealing with stuff from home and somebody's wife was just diagnosed with cancer, or their son just got into a car accident, or they're owning a drinking problem, as leaders, we have to attend to that. We have to have some form of care and concern while also empowering them to continue to do their work. And if I can make that happen as a leader, I am increasing the quality of their life. They're going to trust me more. They're likely going to be more cooperative with their work, even under stress. And I'm going to retain a loyal colleague and direct report.
Yeah. Empowerment's such a game changer.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not the empowerment of telling people what to do. It's working in conjunction with each other. CEO, sales guy, they're all light labels, but we're all human too. And we get stuck in those labels, don't we? Bill, go ahead.
No,
I'm just going to say, what I want to add to is you work with Coca-Cola. We talked about that before the show, AbbVie, and some large companies. And you've worked with small, medium-sized companies. I noticed through them all.
The whole spectrum.
Yeah, you've gone through the whole spectrum, and it's powerful that you work with those large companies and of course, small, medium-sized. Is there a difference in leadership between those types of companies?
I at the end of the day, leadership is difficult. Whether you are owning and operating a small business, you are attempting to lead a team, or you are sitting at the C-suite of AbbVie or a much larger corporation. Leadership is tough across industries, across levels. There are degrees of leadership skills that we can develop that are higher and richer over time. But at the end of the day, I do think leadership is about leading others. So it's not a command and control type of leadership anymore. It means I've got to know my people, care for my people. I've got to choose to develop my people, understand where they want to go, and it's my job to help them get there. So that's a long answer to most of us across industries and levels need heightened people leadership skills, as well as learning agility, the ability to pivot, to change, to learn and unlearn, simply because of the demands of business today and the complexity within society.
Yeah. It's easy to start a business and it's hard to run a business. That's what I say. You could jump on and do that. And what's interesting, you're in the middle of the muck of your business. Somebody like you seeing that 30,000 view, you can come in and go, you know what I'm hearing, Steve? This, and this. And that can be a game changer for a CEO, founder, business, president, whatever title they have, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. One of the dynamics that I'm aware of is typically when people are promoted to a manager, a supervisor, a leader of people, they have not been provided the training or development to support them in that new role and responsibility. They have technical capabilities and competencies, which likely got them to the new role, but the technical competencies aren't the same as the people capabilities. And so, again, one of the reasons why I enjoy what I do is because then I'm enabling somebody else to grow and to learn how to work with others, lead others, and they're actually enriching the lives of another person as well. But we need far more attention to making sure those who are promoted are prepared for their work and developed in it.
It's happened so much. I hear a lot of stories. The perfect example is Steve Ramon is a top sales guy. I've been hit quotas, past quotas for 2 years. He might be our greatest sales manager. You're right. I could sell anything because I've proved it. But can I sell myself with the employees that I've got to manage now? And I think it falls also too on those high level executives that go, are we picking Steve for the right reason or the wrong reason?
No, you're right. Absolutely.
That's what you do too. You come in and go, hey, why is Steve the manager? Nothing wrong with Steve. He's doing a great job for you. But can he fill this role? Correct?
Right.
And you talk about role facilitation play. I looked you up and stalked you a little bit in a great way. Is that kind of what I'm talking about in people, leaders understanding that?
Say it one more time, please.
The role does facilitation play in leadership. The role, sure. Yeah.
So what I know is, as a leader, I am trying to facilitate human persons with feelings and capabilities, and I'm facilitating, does that person with their capabilities align with this role? Is that a good fit? And if it's a good fit, what am I going to do to ensure they're happy, that I can develop them with a new skill set to complement what they're doing or to advance their career, while I'm also facilitating managing up and trying to make sure these leaders see results here and are aligned to something bigger. So again, as you know, it's not easy to do, but it's these are all skills that are learnable, and we just have to make a commitment to say, let me try to elevate my own emotional intelligence. Let me try to be much more aware of what it means to lead somebody one-to-one. Let me learn how to facilitate conversations and priorities, because it grows their skill set for that role and for anywhere 3, 5, 10 years down the road.
And I love this because, again, it's simple, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could be a leader. Doesn't mean everybody should be. That's the thing that people need to understand too. Well, they tell me I need to be a leader. I've been here 10 years. But I don't want that. Then don't give it to them. They're
No,
happy
don't.
where they're at, right? I love that. You really nailed it. Well, let's jump into your book. I'm excited to hear more about it. What's the goal of the book? When I read it, what's some of the topics and things I'm going to learn?
Thank you for bringing that up. So I wrote my first book about 8 months ago. It's entitled Optimizing Self, a guided workbook to elevate your impact as a leader. So the purpose of the book is to really develop a stronger sense of self. It's really about self-awareness. What I do really well and what I might need to improve upon if I'm being fully honest with myself. And because I have sought the feedback of others. So we're typically not strong at seeking feedback or giving feedback, but we need feedback in order to fully develop ourselves. So the book supports self-awareness, and it does so to complement or accelerate our profession. So I'm going to spend a lot of time with what is your personal brand? How do you think others experience you? Okay, positively and negatively. What's your value proposition? So every professional has differentiators in their capabilities and experiences that enable them to distinguish themselves. Most people, when I ask them, even senior leaders, cannot quickly and confidently say, this is my value proposition. And that's not acceptable to me. Every professional should be able to state what it is they do and do exceptionally well. And so the book guides you to get you to such a place. It facilitates self-esteem, self-worth, confidence, productivity, careers. And at the end of the day, I want people to feel good about who they are personally and what they bring to the table professionally. That's what's behind the book.
And there sounds like there's tools in there that I could read and implement in my life.
So every chapter, there are guided activities. It's very clear what I'm going to ask you to think about and why, and to capture pen to paper so you can begin seeing the data that informs you.
So powerful.
Yeah, I think the differentiator in the book is that it guides people through activities to better self-reflect and celebrate their profession.
That's Powerful. And I've heard the phrase from many strong leaders. You need to serve yourself first before you can serve others. And it sounds like your book's doing that. How do I serve myself?
Well, in some ways, it does complement or facilitate a servant's heart. Okay. So we have to understand, know ourselves, manage ourselves thoughtfully, compassionately, honestly, so we can better do that with others. And we're the first servant. We are. And we develop a heart that says, I want to more formally, diligently develop others so they feel good about themselves and what they do, whatever it is they do.
This is the book I've been looking for when I talk to people, which I'm going to share with them, because people go, well, how do I do that? There you go.
It really is in there.
Yeah.
I'm probably most proud of that. The content's strong, the examples are current, but it's guided.
Yeah.
And that'll be the hook for people.
Love
And I'm a
books.
resource if somebody needs it. I say that in my book.
Yeah. And we'll have contact info. We'll share that as well.
Thanks.
When you hear servant leadership, what thoughts come to your head?
I hear selflessness. I hear generosity. I hear patience and abundance, forgiveness, fulfillment. A servant's heart is about clearly understanding part of my purpose is in service to another's quality of life. In my home, in my community, across the nation, throughout the world.
Yeah. Key word there, that they're all big words. I've asked that question a number of times, but you're the first person, and kudos to you. Big hurrah, is you said abundance. Because people think is giving, and it is servant heart, but you can receive as a servant leader as well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What's the power of that?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it goes both ways. If I'm abundant with others, I think it facilitates another's commitment to abundance or willingness to be a bit more generous with themselves.
Yeah, that's the key. I thank you for saying that, because the conversations I get, because it's a servant's heart is not like I give you $100, you just got $100 bill, you made $100 or you had 100. When you serve, it's universe currency. I call it God's currency, whatever you want to call it. It's out in the ether, but it's you, because you don't know how, when, or where that's going to be received by you. But trust me, and thank you for all the great words you said before the show. I've seen that, and I've seen that with you, because you just don't go, hey, I only work with billion-dollar companies like AbbVie and Coca-Cola. I'll help your small, medium-sized company because I have a servant's heart and I have the ability to do that. It's so appreciated, because that's what we should be doing. We should be offering and helping us. And I'm not saying, I believe in free stuff, but don't give it away for free, because unfortunately we have, power and rent and mortgage and bills to pay. And that's where the abundance comes in. The more you have, the more you can serve others. We're coming to the end here. I want to ask this question. I ask everybody. It's a fun question, so I get to know you. I'm really excited to get your answer on this one. So you have a reservation at a restaurant, table of 4. Of course, you're going to sit in one of the chairs. In the other 3 chairs, who would you invite, dead or alive? Why would they be invited to your table? And what food would you order?
Wow. I would invite my partner Cesar. I would invite Mother Teresa. And I would invite Barack Obama.
Wow.
Because I think those three persons, in their own way, represent a servant's heart.
Amen.
And they're generous in spirit. They're intellectually savvy. They're global in their thinking. And what would we have for dinner? It'd be a Mediterranean dinner.
Oh.
So it'd probably be a bronzino, some hummus, some couscous.
Ooh, sounds good. Light. I like
and
that.
a
I need
nice,
more.
probably a nice Malbec.
And your partner's name is Cesar?
Yes, his name's Cesar. Yeah.
So I'm going to shout this out publicly, Cesar. You can owe him dinner sometime this weekend. He just did a beautiful shout out for you. I'm kidding.
I'll let him know that. In fact,
yeah, please let him know that. That I said he got to know, of course. And I love that because why I love that question. It learns more about you because with a servant heart, you live in your home and outside your home, and that's what we all need to do. You know, people are listening. They're super excited to be better leaders. How can they support you and connect with you?
So I would welcome being a resource to anybody who would like to grow both professionally and interpersonally. So I can be found at c3leadership.org, c3leadership.org. I can be found at bill.dickinson at C3Leadership. I'm on LinkedIn as Bill Dickinson. And I would welcome any opportunity to help you thrive as a leader, grow your business, and care for your people.
Yeah. That's a trilogy that I love. Thank you so much, Bill. That's so perfect to end the show. And I thank you so much. You're a blessing. You care, and keep rocking and rolling and doing that leadership. It's an audience, reach out to them, and audience, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And here's why. This show is a great tool you can use to help yourself. Go back and listen. There's so many notes I took about value and empathy, empowering, that sometimes we need to hear 3 or 4 times. But when you subscribe, it's easy to find his show. The other reason is all my great guests like Bill, who's been a fabulous guest. And the other reason, there's 3 reasons, your family or friends. And I think this is the power of a podcast. You're talking to somebody today and they're like, I need to be a better leader. I'm having a problem with my people. Grab this podcast, send them the link. It's 20 minutes, 18 minutes. They can learn about Bill. Maybe they could take some of this and get better, but he just said it. He could be a resource for you. So utilize this podcast for that because it's here to motivate, inspire, and educate you. Also to comment on the YouTube channel. If it's a critique for the podcast, like Bill was saying earlier, critique but yourself, I'd like to make it better because me and Bill want this podcast for you. It's not for Steve Ramona. It's not for Bill Dickinson. We're here to promote the motivation, inspiration, education. So fire those, and it's for Bill. I'll get Bill the comments, don't worry, because I think it's really powerful. And as always, me and Bill want to thank you all so much for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you much, everybody. Steve, thank you very much for what you do.